Right, so for the first time ever, we've been able to play zombies as part of the beta for the latest Call of Duty, and I've been able to put a couple of hours in. We've done the round 50 calling card, Dark Ops challenge, whatever you want to call it. I just thought I'm going to put my thoughts together on what I liked, what I don't like, what I hope can change before November. As someone who's, listen, I'm a long time fan, I've played since World at War. Pretty casual fan. I love zombies, and yeah, I want to see it. I want to see the best for it. So yeah, the short version is I think the game's pretty good. So if you're not keen on listening to another nerdy, specky ginger boy yapping on for a couple of minutes, then happy scrolling. But yeah, listen, I'm going to get into a couple of things that I think are good, what I think's bad, because there are things I think that are bad, and yeah, then as part of that, what I hope can change before we get to the November full release. Okay, so the good, the vibes, straight off, the kind of thing that people, and myself included, really didn't kind of feel was great in Black Ops 6 at launch was the kind of the vibes of zombies. We had two really big contrasts. Liberty Falls, not really that great. Terminus, incredible, really kind of great zombie vibes. And I felt like we kind of tapered off really. Citadel Daymore kind of was another one I kind of really, I kind of liked, but everything else I just wasn't, it wasn't for me, to be honest with you. I didn't kind of feel, it didn't feel like zombies. It's just how it is. With farm survival and being in the dark ether, it feels like zombies. And not just that, I think there's other just components about the way the game plays. I think it just comes back to that kind of want to hop on, kill some zombies. And I feel like Black Ops 7 definitely delivers on that. Part of the way it does deliver on that, I think, which is another good thing I love, is that the mystery box matters again. You can argue, yes, it mattered because you could only get the wonder weapon from it last year, but I think with survival in the current build of the game, your loadout doesn't matter. You need to get rid of your loadout pretty quickly in this game, and the mystery box is the best way to kind of do that, to level up those tiers. And I think it's just great to kind of have that importance with the box. Again, that's a core part of zombies in my opinion, and spinning the box to get better weapons but also get the kind of ray gun or whatever the wonder weapon will be. I think it's great to have that kind of focus on that core element of zombies again. One of the things I love, and it kind of connects to kind of a follow-up point, but less special zombies. I'm a big fan of the fact that it's just zombies. Yes, the odd kind of little Denizen 2.0 or whatever the Ravagers are they called, but I'm a big fan of no big units coming in thick and fast, disturbing the kind of the train that we're kind of getting. Yes, there's the big elite zombies, you know, Zursa, Big Bear, Big Winnie the Pooh. Don't mind that. That's the kind of, it freshens it up, keeps it different, and I don't mind that. But yeah, having less special zombies constantly coming in is a big win. Related to that, and I think it is a good thing because this is one of them, is it does feel like a lot of the things that kind of irked me in Black Ops 6 have been refined. As I say, less special zombies, ammo feels a bit nicer to kind of, be picking it up rather than the kind of aesthetic of a Warzone kind of create. Yeah, another quality of life kind of update. I love that exfil isn't a kind of require, say it's not a call in a helicopter from a military radio. It is something zombies. You get teleported. You also don't have to do it if your teammates do. I love that as kind of more of a solo player, but we've kind of had a couple of multiplayer games there, and it's great if my kind of friends are like, I'm kind of done, let's peace out, and they want to go and leave the game and we can kind of continue on. I love that. It's a great quality of life change. But now let's get into the bad then. I think, as what I've said in that last point, there's great refinements from last year, but I think that's a lot of really what this game is. Refined Black Ops 6. This is kind of 6.5 in my eyes. Listen, if I was going to get deeper into it, this feels like the game we should have got last year. I'm a firm believer we have been in a 2-year COD cycle, like was kind of leaked and hinted a couple of years ago, and then Activision came out and said, no, you will still get annual releases. But ultimately, what we got with Modern Warfare 3, we should have had with Modern Warfare 2, and I have a real good feeling that what we're going to have with Black Ops 7 is probably what we should have got with Black Ops 6. But listen, time will tell. The game's not out. Let's see what happens. But with zombies specifically, it feels like Black Ops 6. There's no getting around it. This is kind of further DLC ultimately, with some quality of life improvements, which I say are great, but the fact it's kind of bundled as a full release irks me. Now, I'm someone who plays multiplayer. I play the campaign, so I will be getting that value for money elsewhere, I am sure. But as a zombies fan, we're getting a bit hard done by, let's be honest. Another thing I'm not really a fan of at the moment is the gun balance, or I don't know if it's damage, zombie health, but really from around like 30 plus, guns just feel useless, even if that's their gold pack 3. It's kind of disappointing, the onus, in this new kind of generation of zombies is to build out your weapon and to be the ultimate kind of zombie killing machine, and it kind of feels weird then that from around 35 plus you're kind of just shooting peas at them and you're reliant on the traps to get the kills, which kind of links back to, like, I'd link back to a positive of traps being important. Great, I love that. They always were important, but I know there's something a bit old schooly about that, which I like. But I don't like the fact that if I'm training, it's when I'm in 30s or even the 40s, it feels like a slog trying to get through those rounds. So, but that seems like something they could fix. Linked to the kind of damage, it feels like we're not doing as much damage, but zombies are doing a lot more damage. I've had a lot of scenarios where I was getting kind of nearly one hit by getting stuck on something and then getting 2 hit and I'm down, and I just feel like that shouldn't happen. I feel like there's times I should be able to get out of a situation that I have been able to before. So yeah, I feel like there's a bit of balancing there that needs to happen. And lastly, one thing I want to call out, and I hope it's kind of not a pattern what we kind of have with survival maps that I'll then get into of what I'd like to see going forward. But I think with the farm map, we need to get rid. I'm not a big fan of the elements of Ashes of the Damned being in that map, specifically those jump pads. They are just, why are they there? I feel like I keep getting caught on them whenever I'm doing a train or moving backwards, and I'm like, what have I bumped into? Oh, it's these launch pads, which I can't do anything with. They're useless to the map, and I feel like it's, I say, maybe just because it's the beta, but really farm just feels like a cutout of Ashes of the Damned, and they've stuck a couple of hay bales in front of the gate to stop us leaving, but still have the launch pad and stuff there. That just doesn't sit right with me. I feel like I hope going into full release they are removed, at least swap it for something farm-esque, but I hope in the future survival maps that's kind of really, it's not just purely a cutout of Ashes of the Damned. It can be a POI for sure, but I hope it's at least kind of fleshed out a bit or kind of made purely its own area, if that makes sense to those who've played. But yeah, getting into what I'd love to see getting changed going forward into full release is that update to the farm, as we've said, get rid of those launch pads, please. I would love to see salvage somehow repurposed. I feel like with the kind of attention gone onto the mystery box as the kind of way to upgrade your weapon or get upgraded weapons, I feel like salvage kind of has lost its place a bit, and I know people will be buzzing and go, yeah, let's just get rid of it, but I'd be keen to kind of see some kind of place for it to go now, and maybe again with full release there might be better uses for it, apart from just buying monkey bombs or buying self revives when you need it, and score streaks. I'm not as keen on that, so again it just seems odd to me that kind of we get more salvage than we have points, which I'm not really complaining about that. I don't mind that kind of difficulty element of it, of we have to be careful with points. I'm all for that, but yeah, it seems now kind of salvage has kind of lost the kind of element that it was added for with that focus. But happy to wait and see what happens there. And related to the damage point I mentioned earlier, rather than kind of being buffed or nerfed kind of zombies and buff the weapons, I'd love to see them just go full up, like, you know what, we're adding a 4th pack-a-punch tier, or we're going to add another rarity of weapon, because I think for kind of those people who want to get to those higher rounds and go to those 50s and beyond, I think there should be kind of, say, a use of the salvage would be a great kind of, okay, spend 100,000 to upgrade to cosmic rarity, whatever it would be. I think that would be a kind of great use of that. And again, Pack-a-Punch 4, if at 35, from round 35, if we're kind of it's your PAP 3 gold gun feels like a pea shooter, that's a problem. So I think it would be really cool to kind of through the game add another tier and maybe go to a 5th tier. Like, I think if there was kind of an exponential kind of upgrade path, I think that would be really cool, and something again making you kind of keep in the game. If there was that kind of exponential upgrade path kind of down the line, I think that'll be something really cool. Obviously kind of there is balancing issues there that you would have to maintain, but I say it kind of feels like there's a gap there with kind of what salvage kind of is currently kind of sitting there as a big block of a currency in your pocket, and getting kind of a pea shooter at round 35, which is gold and PAP 3. I think it would be quite cool if there was another couple of rarities, or a Pack-a-Punch tier 4. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, those are my thoughts on zombies. It'd be interesting to see kind of the rest of the weekend if anything kind of changes, but more importantly, yeah, looking to full release, getting hands on Ashes of the Damned, and really looking forward to kind of getting hands on Cursed. I must say I'm an old school fan, so really interested to see how they kind of are trying to appeal to those senses with, you know, Black Ops 3 point system, starting pistol. I think we're already seeing elements of that, say with the kind of core gameplay as it is. I think starting loadout doesn't really matter, you know, anymore, apart from being able to change what your field upgrade is. I'm not a big gobblegum user, so yeah, I think there's hope for this game. I say, yes, that's when you look at it big picture wise, it's not a great look, the fact that this is very similar to Black Ops 6, but the optimist in me always likes to have a bit of a positive outlook, and I say I'm looking forward to getting the full zombies experience in November. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate if you give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below what are your thoughts on zombies, if you've played it, and what you'd love to change before November. But yeah, until next time, happy scrolling.